edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by Freaking.com. This is, of course, a provisional edition of the Ridley Report. A lot of breaking news, more news than I can use. I have such a big backlog of New Hampshire Liberty stories, I thought I should give you a quick audio update while the stories are in production. I also don't have an internet connection that's working very well right now, so I am making this report by phone. First, they say it looked like a mob and sounded like one too. Angry horse owners, an estimated 300 of them, cramming into the State House in New Hampshire to shout down attacks on horses. I guess I should say a tax on horses. So many, so angry, these people, the sponsoring rep apologized for even submitting the tax bill and recommended it be killed. Beth from Candia is working on a video report about this, and if you have any images from the wild scene, please email me, ridleyreport@live.com. Allies of a state rep fighting to keep the Old Man of the Mountain Memorial Project voluntary. Let's see, let me right back. Also at the State House, there is a rep who is trying to keep Old Man funding voluntary. The Old Man of the Mountain Project is a memorial for a fallen New Hampshire landmark, but allies of the rep say he is undergoing harassment from a different mob, the folks who want to use your tax dollars on the project without your consent. So it looks like mobs could work both ways in the free state. There's definitely wrangling going on as to whether funding for the Old Man projects will be voluntary or tax-based. I've completed interviews with 3 Conway residents who say they saw a man maced inside a squad car by Conway PD while handcuffed and non-resisting. I've got a call into Conway PD about this. I'm working that story as fast as I can. It's been a 3 days, though, since I called the police department. Anyway, I'm trying to edit this story as fast as I can, and the other stories that you will hear me summarize in this report. An attempt to silence New Hampshire residents who have filed grievances against Keene District Court Judge Edward Burke. This attempt is not something new. It's an order contained in the grievances themselves. We'll nevertheless try to break through the bureaucratic scene to let you know what's happening there. I received a nice call from a state fire marshal regarding that controversial generator incident in Dublin. He says, contrary to claims from Western New Hampshire activists, his inspector was not ordered away from a local family. He says a court ruled in the inspector's favor after residents filed a harassment complaint. He did the interview with me on tape, and again, that airs as soon as I can air it. It took him a while to get back to me simply because he was on vacation. Lastly, a de facto secession resolution in the New Hampshire House. Although it does not use the word secession, House Concurrent Resolution 6 draws multiple lines in the sand against federal encroachment. It's perceived as a potential threat to secede. HCR 6 comes up for hearing on February 5th. Stay tuned for video versions of these stories. This is Dave Ridley about to sign off, and meanwhile, furiously editing for RidleyReport.com. And by the way, this report was brought to you by Freaking.com.
This program is brought to you by Freaking.com. Freaking.com features audio, video, and blogs chronicling the transition to a voluntary society. Freaking.com also has comments and discussion forums so you can be heard. Freaking.com.